Hello everyone and welcome to Mugello in Italy for round 2 of the South African simGT series, the 2018.1 season and our flagship championship. I'm Jason Holden-Jones and I'll be commentating solo this evening, unfortunately. As my usual co-commentator Werner Hinop is in fact qualified for this Division 1 race this evening, and I wish him a strong round here at Mugello, looking good in the BMW Z4, and let's see what Werner can come up with in this race. But it is Jason Absmeyer, actually Jason Absmeyer and his teammate Leslie Oliphant in the RP Madcap McLarens, who have left the pit lane first to get their qualifying session underway, and just 2 corners left for Jason Absmeyer to begin his first flying lap. Absmeyer looking very strong here at Mugello. Stronger than his teammate, the first time we've seen it this season in the Sprint Q series, the sprint format to this championship, and the South African simGP series. So Absmeyer looking very strong. Let's see what he can come up with now. And we're going to stay with him on his flying lap, go on board with him in fact. Turn 1, that is San Donato, and into turn 2 we go, left-right combination. Here's turn 3. Car a little bit loose there for Jason, but he keeps it under control nicely. Down, short straight towards turn 4, Materassi, another left-right-hander combination with turn 5. San Lorenzo, which is this corner. Nice and tidy there for Absmeyer so far. On the way to Casanova, one of my favorite corners in Sella Corsa, in all the tracks in fact. Through Savelli we go, and then to Arabata 1 and 2, very fast, 2 fast right-handers. Very important to get the aero set up correctly on the car. Make sure it's stable through there, and also not to burn out the rear tyres, front left especially. A lot of the drivers in practice over the weekend struggling with that and looking for setup tips on the form in fact. And we'll have to see how the teams get on with that problem of rear tyre temperature. Now we have that long winding right hand corner. It's Correntino through Biondetti now. Careful not to use too much curb, it can unsettle the car. Something we saw last season, a couple of cars spinning through there. And then the last corner, turn 14. And this is the speed up point to begin the race after the formation lap, of course. And Absmeyer now, it's a drag down towards the start finish line to complete his first flying lap, and it is a 47.817 strong lap time. But his teammates beaten him with a 47.654, and Judd Watt now with a 47.592. So it's all kicking off here at Mugello, and Bashir Judd Watt has drawn first blood so far. Let's see what Christopher Langeveld can come up with. He hasn't crossed the line just yet. Bartel now up to 7th. Heineke 6th. Lamprecht, Björn Lamprecht, his first race in this championship. And he is up into 5th position. Nazim Edwards now with a 49.528. 8th. Vali now completes the top 10 with a 50.632. 23 runners this evening. So nice full field. Of course, we've got that Division 2 race coming up on Wednesday evening. And that's also is going to be a packed grid as well. So we now look at Bashir Judd Watt now on his second flying lap, 2/10 down on his first or his second flying lap. I just said that, yeah. And we've got Peter Geldenhuys up into 7th. Judd Watt in fact abandons that lap. Let's have a look at Rian Lamprecht now on the RPM sim racing team McLaren. RPM really getting the sponsors on board. This has been fantastic to see early access. One of the sponsors, OMP as well, famous motorsport brand. And of course that team I'm combining with Madcap, the South African sim racing team, one of the major sim racing teams in South Africa internationally. Great to see that team going from strength to strength. Getting the brands on board, that's what we want to see to grow the sim racing scene in South Africa. You see Rian Lamprecht, he bails out of that corner. Look at Christopher Langeveld in the Red Line Racing Mercedes-Benz, struggling for a bit of pace here at Mugello. Perhaps the Mercedes-Benz not quite suited to the circuit. A bit wide there through Arabetta 1. Abandons that lap as well. Boyd Bryson now up into 7th position in the Synergy Godzilla entry. And Sean Laria now in the SimTech McLaren up into 6th position. Nice run there by Laria. This broadcast is brought to you in partnership with SimTech Simulator Equipment. And you're welcome to check out their Facebook page. We do have a link in the description to this YouTube live video. Go and check them out. Make some fantastic looking button boxes and other equipment as well, customized to how you want it to be. We've got 8 minutes remaining in this session now. As my leads the way. What is that? That's not even a 10th ahead of Bashir Jadwat. Leslie Oliphant in 3rd. Marcus Steyn, Jadwat's teammate, in 4th position. Langeveld now in 5th. As we spoke about, Laria is in 6th. Break 7th. Bryson 8th. Heineken now up into 9th. And Peter Holden-Jones completes the top 10. Steyn now about to start another flight. Let's have a look and see how he gets on through turn 1. Nice and tidy around the apex of that corner. Gets the power on early. 2/10 up now is Marcus Steyn. Keep strong. If we can keep this up, he won't improve. He needs to be doing a bit better than that. He's a good 5/10 behind the next man up on the tower. He needs about 4/10 to get onto terms with Leslie Oliphant. Shout out to Adrian Government in the YouTube live chat. And Adrian will be racing Division 2 on Wednesday evening. So no doubt looking for some tips and see what's happening in this race, perhaps from a strategy perspective, and what the pace is like. And if you're watching this and you're wanting to get involved in the race, we have the Division 2 race on Wednesday evening, and in fact we're about to expand to 3 divisions. So there's space if you're looking to join the Racing in SimRace Africa, then by all means have a look at our getting started page on our website at simracesa.co.za. Sign up have a read first as to what the season is about, and then sign up using the forum on the bottom of the page, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can with the entry details. We're enjoying a very competitive season at SimRace South Africa in the GT series. Chris Heineken now 2/10 up on his best delta. If he can keep this up, this should give him 7th perhaps. Oh, he's going to not like that though. Still up in his delta somehow. And, but losing that time now, unfortunately. We've got Leslie Oliphant who's popped into 2nd, so it's an RP Mad Cape all front row at the moment. And let's see if Bashir Jadwat can spoil that party. He's down on his delta so far, but let's see what he can come up with now. But qualifying will tell one part of the story this evening. Another part will be how the drivers manage the tyre wear at the circuit, which has become a huge topic of discussion on our forum message boards. Everybody looking for tips on how to prolong the tires, and see the long sweeping corners really damaging the tires. And I doubt we'll see any runners with soft tire, perhaps people easy on the tires like Boyd Bryson and Cat. James can do it, but James is well off the pace. 2:20, must have had a problem in his last flying lap. Let's see what he can do. Let's have a look at Cat James. He is on his out lap. Christopher Langeveld in the pits. Heineke is having another go at it. He's going to be up in his delta now. Let's see what he can do. A bit too deep into that corner, although he's gaining time that way. And he's going to increase his lap time. Wow, so has Heineke found something in his setup. And this could get him right up into 4th position, perhaps even 3rd of the sheer Jadwat. Let's see what the Reaper Ghost X driver Chris Heineke can do now. 3 tenths up. 3 tenths up. 3 beyond that we go. Now it's all about the last corner and getting that right. Not running too deep. Not turning too early as well. Chris Heineke chooses the middle part of the circuit to turn. Interesting. Keeps that line throughout the corner. Runs wide. It was lost time. But this is good enough to give him 5th. Perhaps 4th. Let's see what happens. Chris Heineke up into 4th position. What a great lap that is by him. Good stuff. What's on an out lap? Let's see what James is going to do. He's just started a lap now. Here comes James. Let's go on board for that, James. Well, it was always a pleasure to watch the former South African simGT champion. Nice smooth turn in. So 10th down in his delta, which points to must have gone off the last flying lap while of the pace, but now he's back on the pace. 2 tenths down, a bit wide through that corner now. Through Casanova now nicely, turns it in. Now matching his best delta so far. 3 Arabetta 1 we go. Nice and tight line, let it run wide onto the curb now. Set himself up for Arabetta 2, nice turn in, get it back on the power as soon as possible, ride those bumps. Under braking we go. 2 tenths up in his best delta now. Expect that delta to dramatically increase now as we complete the lap. There's Absmai from Olifant, from Jadwat, from Heineke, from Marcus Day, and that is your top 5 for the moment with just 90 seconds remaining in the session. James back on the power now. Let's just see what this lap time will give. I don't think this delta is quite correct for this lap time. I'm not quite sure what's going on there with the timing system. Yeah, James is up into 12th position. To better that now. Let's see if anybody is threatening the top at the moment. Jadwat is matching his best delta so far. It's Brent Lindsay-Ray just moving aside for him. Nicely done there by Lindsay-Ray not to hinder Jadwat. Jadwat very aggressive on the turning, nice and wide entry. Back on the power now. Is he going to? No, yes, lift off a bit of a slide there. Bryson now into 4th position. Good that there by boy Bryson. Also former South African simGT champion. Heineke was improving. No, that's stopped. Mugello Olifant now down 4 tenths. Marcus Steyn up at 10th now. This could possibly give him 5th position. Heineke, no, it's not going to be better. Heineke is not going to improve either. Langeveld's in the pit lane. He's decided he's had enough for this qualifying session. Lario is in the pits. Lamprecht now. He's going to better his delta time now. He's looking to challenge Langeveld for that 7th position. Times are very tight along this, quite a long circuit this. So the top 9, 10 separated by just a second. Lamprecht is not going to improve, I don't think, no. Langeveld down to 5th with a 48.112, better lap by him. James now has not improved. He will stay 12th. Who else is on a run? Jason Absman now looking to better his provisional pole position time by a 10th. Olifant is not going to improve, I don't think. Judd Watts made a mistake there. Biondetti was matching his best alters. What about this last corner now? But he's not going to improve. And I think that is your grid for this evening's race. So times are very tight indeed. Great to see. Improve, I don't think. Judd Watts made a mistake there. Biondetti was matching his best alters. What about this last corner now? But about a minute away from the start of the formation lap. And we're going to take a short break and be right back. Don't go away. So Jason Absmeyer will start around 2 from pole position. Just making sure Leslie Oliphant will start from 2nd position, followed by Bashir Judd Watt, Boyd Bryson, and Christopher Langeveld. Those are your top 5. And of course we've got Marcus staying there in 6th position and Chris Heineke in 7th. So a very strong competitive field this evening. And around 20 seconds away from the start of the formation lap, where Absmeyer will lead the field around lap 1 at a specific pace. And then we'll speed up from the speed up point, which is the entry to the final corner, to get the race underway. 49 laps this evening, and each driver needs to do 1 mandatory pit stop. Off we go. The formation lap has started. See a bit of drama at the back there. Quinton Harif involved with an incident. Not quite sure what's happened there, but he will rejoin the field. Got a plenty of time to rejoin the field before the race gets underway. But there we go. The RP Madcape McLarens are leading the way. Impressive qualifying session there by Jason Absmeyer and teammate Leslie Oliphant. And then we have the Squadra Ghostworks Nissan GTR, Bashir Judd Watt, and another Nissan, Boyd Bryson. The first of the Mercedes-Benz's Christopher Langeveld in the Red Line Racing entry, followed by Chris Heineke and another Nissan, Reaper Ghostworks. And then Squadra Ghostworks, Marcus Stanley from 7. simTech Racing from Sean Laurier from 8th position, Rian Lambrecht from 9th, and then Peter Caldenes completes the top 10. got everybody getting ready for the start of this race. Absmeier starting to bunch the field now. Get everyone nice and close together for the start of this 49 lap race. Shout out to everybody watching the YouTube live chat. Great looking field this evening. Jason Absmeier started the race now. It's past the speed up point. And Bashir Jadwat now looking dangerous in third position, looking to challenge Leslie Oliphant to turn one and front of the Nissan Skyline, showing the Nissan GTR, beg your pardon, showing that side by side with Oliphant down towards turn one. And he's going to get under braking. I think it's going to be Bashir Jadwat who swoops around the outside of Oliphant to take second. He means business. And he's picked up one RP Madcap McLaren. Now he's going after the next one, and there's Jason Absmeier. So Jadwat versus Oliphant. Boyd Bryson looking strong in fourth position. Don't count out that man. Vastly experienced sim racer is Boyd Bryson. And he's got Christopher Langeveld in the yellow Mercedes-Benz for Redline Racing right there. Field nice and close together still. And Absmeier now starting to feel some pressure. Bashir Jadwat wants to get on with it. And Oliphant now looking to come back at Bashir Jadwat. It's gone board with Oliphant. He's got a better run through area butter. And then McLaren's area is a bit better than Nissan. Nissan's very good through the quick stuff. Fast corners. But so is the Nissan. Nissan probably a bit better on tyre wear as well on the race stints. So the RP Madcap McLaren will be watching that. Try not to overstress the car too much. Bashir Jadwat, he wants past Absmeier. Very close here for 12th position. Cat James looking to find his way past Gustav Jacobs in the Porsche. We've got Summers falling back. I think that's Tank Applegate down to 22nd. So Bashir Jadwat's got a run on Jason Absmeier. He's challenging for the lead of the race. And he's got him already. That Nissan incredibly fast down the main straights. Perhaps got a better exit than Absmeier too. But great move by Bashir Jadwat, and he's off. Can anybody stop Jadwat? Oliphant now has been passed by Boyd Bryson too, so the Godzillas are eating up the McLarens. And Oliphant's looking for a way past now. No, not going to happen. Langeveld too wants a piece of the action, and he's bringing Heineke and staying with him. So we're on for quite a race this evening, I think. Just lap 3 of 49, a long way to go still. And this is what we want to see. South Africa's best sim racers going at it all together. Jadwat looking comfortable, but Absmeier would have been given the hurry up now. Bit shocked maybe as to how Jadwat passed his teammates, and now has got him too. Bryson now again under pressure, but still able to keep Oliphant behind him. This is the battle for 13th position. Jacobs has got James has got Jacobs, so he's past him, and now Hembry is looking for a way past too. So Jacobs struggling now in his opening stages. Here comes the Ferrari, looking up the inside, hasn't quite worked. Got a change at the back. Sparks has fallen behind Bart. Oh, Jacobs has lost it. He's lost it. I mentioned that curve in qualifying, and it's caught out Jacobs. And unfortunately, Hembry's caught him in the process. Not too bad though. Jacobs will look to rejoin safely if he can. Looks like he's done that. So that's unfortunate. But back to the front, Jadwat leads Absmeier. Tank Applegate's put a move on Gustav Jacobs, of course, after Jacobs went off. James has got Caldenes down the main straight. So there's Synergy, Godzilla, and Nissan's looking strong here. Bryson up into third, James up into the top 10. Bryson now's broken away from Olifant. Now he's going after Absmeyer. Yeah, great reactions there by Brent Lindsay to miss that spinning Porsche of Gustav Jacobs. There's the front matches in the YouTube live chat, absolutely. And now we've got Heineke challenging. He was challenging Langefeld, now he's fallen prey to Steyn, who's got it completely wrong, totally outbraked himself. He's run wide, he will lose the position to Lario and also to Rion Lamprecht as well. So McLaren tries to find its way past. No, there's contact, slight contact, not too bad. So Steyn rejoins in 8th position. He'll be kicking himself about that, went for a move and then Nissan couldn't get itself stopped. Look down the field there. Werner Hinner, my usual co-commentator, up into 12th position, having a strong run here in the BMW. Great looking livery as well. Kalnes has fallen back to 14th, looks like a spin. But Jadwat's now moved away from the rest of the field to the tune of a 1.4 second lead now. And Bryson now looking to take it to Jason Absmeyer now too. Let's go on board with Bryson. Let's see the difference between the cars. James now coming under pressure from Rion Lamprecht, who's caught up to him. Steyn's moved away from Lamprecht and James as well. I'm not quite sure if James had an issue, but it looks like he's fallen back and somehow taken Lamprecht with him. And that's enabled Steyn to move away from them. 2 seconds away now. This is the battle for 16th position between Osman Fali and teammate Quinton Harhoff in the sister team. Harhoff having a strong race so far. He started back in the field but up into 16th now, just keeping out of trouble besides that issue on the pace lap. Bryson now just 7/10 behind Jason Absmeyer now. That's the battle for 2nd position. Oh, someone's gone off. Who's that? I think that's Harhoff. Harhoff's gone off, yes. It will enable Tank Applegate to catch up to him in the grey McLaren. Covering Jacobs down in 19th position. He's got Nazim Edwards for company, and the Reaper goes to Exelson. This is the Smith Racing Porsche we're watching. The field's starting to spread out now at this early stage. I think a lot of drivers are starting to look after their tyres too. And, will we see a 2-stop strategy this evening? We might see that. Jadwat now opening up the lead at the front to around 2 seconds now. Looking very comfortable here at Mugello. Perhaps he decided to turn down the wick, looking after the tyres. But Applegate's got a run on Harhoff. Let's have a look at him. Take Applegate in his debut South African simGT series race this evening. Doing a good job so far. Hinop's got Lindsay Ray for 11th position. I think Lindsay Ray's had an issue. He's coming under pressure from Mark Embry. Down the main straight we got the Ferrari 488 Turbo V8 against the National Aspirated V8 for the Mercedes-Benz. Looks like the Ferrari is going to get the Merc into turn 1, or Lindsay Ray get him under brakes. Tries to push him wide slightly, just unsettle him, but no. Mark Embry's better on the brakes. He's got it. Embry up into 12th position. Of course, Embry had that incident with Jacobs, the spinning Jacobs he couldn't avoid. That will get Scott Jacobs into turn 1. And Jacobs now under pressure from the Reaper Ghostworks Nissan of Nazim Edwards 2. Oh, contact! Edwards just touching the left rear tire. The Porsche has gone off. So Edwards down to 21st position, 21st position, I beg your pardon. Bartal now moves up into 20th in the wake racing. Mercedes-Benz teammate Carl Swanepoel not racing this evening, unfortunately. So Ross Bartal in the lone wake racing Mercedes-Benz. Bryson now has got that gap just now down to around 8/10 of a second. So Boyd Bryson looking to make it a Nissan 1-2. A different team to Bashir Jadwat, of course. Jadwat in the Squadron Ghostworks Nissan, and Boyd Bryson the Sinji Godzilla Nissan. But Bryson's got just now is my first to worry about. Langenfeld starting to challenge Oliphant 2 now for fourth position. There's 2 cars behind these two we're watching now. Jadwat's got that gap up to 3 seconds now. Heineke having a good run there in 6th position, just 1.8 seconds behind Langenfeld. That's a pity I can't see what tyres the drivers are using, unfortunately. Van would have been doing that by now, but I'm not able to see that, unfortunately, from my view. Ross Bartel starting to challenge Jacobs for 18th position. But Jacobs really been in the wars this evening, coming in attack left, right and centre. Of course had that spin early on, so that Porsche looking very second hand for the moment. Better run out of there than Ross Bartel. Gets in the power and away he goes, but still to challenge Haro for 17th. It's gone forward with Jacobs. Into turn 1 we go. And Oliphant has got Oliphant for 4th position. Sorry, Langenfeld, yeah, it's got Oliphant for 4th position. So changing the order at the top there. But Holden-Jones looking to come back at him. He's going to have a look at that battle. Seems to have the legs on Holden-Jones for the moment. The gap up to over a second. And Holden-Jones will now try and go after Boy Bryson in third position. Bryson not able to come into terms with Absmeyer for the moment. That gap sitting stable around the second. Let's look at the Henbury battle for 11th position. Doing a fine job in that BMW. That BMW not a popular car this season for whatever reason. It was sort of heavily affected by the new balance of performance values, so perhaps that's why. But Van Hinop making it work nicely. Top 11 for him at the moment. It's starting to move towards Rion Lamprecht too for 10th position. Board with Mark Henbury. Oh, Henop's run wide. So he's going to cut back, but then saw Henbury coming, decided against it. So Henbury up into 11th now. Let's see if Henop can come back at him. For a good exit down to the main straight is Van Hinop. Pretty much dead even down the main straight. Perhaps the Ferrari is pulling away slightly. Let's see if Hinop can close up under braking now. Hinop running quite deep there and wide. And Henbury chooses a tighter line, but both have sort of come out equal. Perhaps Hinop's closed the gap slightly. So nice battle this year between Henbury and Hinop. The rest of the field pretty evenly spread out for the moment, unfortunately for us. Through Casanova now, not a great line by Hinop, but not running too wide, setting himself up for this corner. Can run slightly wide onto the curb, and wide again for Arabetta. One, but too wide there for Hinop, is losing time now. Yeah, you can see Henbury moving away. That gap up to almost a second now. Hinop has got Brent Lindsay Ray in the R-Core Mercedes-Benz behind him, about 1.5 seconds behind us at the moment. And we've got a battle between Haroff and Jacobs again. That battle's flared up again. Here comes Jacobs up the inside. Ross Bartel looking to get a piece of the action as well. Bartel's going to try and follow Haroff through and put a move on Jacobs in the process. And he hasn't quite done it. Here comes Bartel up the inside. Jacobs runs wide. He's going to have the better drive. I think it's going to be Bartel, and Bartel's got him. Nice racecraft there by Bartel, using Haroff as a pick there. Through he goes. And Bartel now go after Haroff. Of course, Jacobs can still come back with him. He will want those two to fight between themselves again so he can catch up. Good move. This is the Brent Lindsay Ray. Peter Kellner is better for 13th. Two Mercedes-Benz running together. Arcor Racing in front of Redline Racing, and these two catching up to the Henbury battle. So those 4 cars starting to concertina together. Edwards put him even Applegate, but Applegate's got past again. So that move not quite paying off. He's going to have to try that again. Some great battles this evening. And Quinton Harroff again has got an ever persistent Ross Bartel behind him. Bartel running wide, he's in the grass, he's going to have a spin. Off goes Bartel, just used a bit too much of the grass there on the exit of that corner. And around he goes, he will drop down to 21st. And here comes Stephen Sparks too in the Sparks Racing Ferrari. And Sparks up into 21st. James now under pressure from Lamprecht. Into turn 1 we go. Is Lamprecht going to be better under braking? Yes he is. He rose wide. He's going to try and get the slingshot that's gone board with Rion Lamprecht. "13 laps down, and it's Bashir Jadwat at the front, but Jason Osmar is starting to move towards him. That gap down to 1.1 seconds at the front, so it's all holding up. Perhaps Osmar is starting to push now before a pit stop. Perhaps we're going to see that 2-stopper coming into play, first time this season. Oh, James has left Lamprecht behind through Casanova. He's gone, he's checked out. Lamprecht's going to have to get him back through Arabata if he can. Arabata 2 now. Better run there by Lamprecht's catching up to James. Quite a rate now. And the braking we go. James runs slightly wide. Lamprecht opts for a tighter line. James runs tight. And Lamprecht runs wide. So interesting. That's all. This is Applegate and Edwards once again. Here comes Edwards using the grunt of the Nissan, but opts out of it. Wow, smooth there by Edwards. No space there for 2 cars. There's Jacobs. Can't find a way past that fat Nissan. He's going to try again. His hard front's wide. This is Jacobs' chance now. Can he use it? That gap at the front's down to under a second now. So Osmar is trying to pressure Jadwat. Jacobs now looking for a good run onto the main straight. He's gone wide looking for the slingshot. Harroff went defensive, but that Porsche's going to have a hard time to get past that powerful Nissan. Let's see. And Osmar now just under half a second behind Jadwat. We're going to go to that battle after we see these 2 cars through turn 1. Oh, we've got some action behind as well. Applegate defends from Edwards. Applegate's had a spin. He goes loses it. Here's the battle for the lead, however, and Osmar is coming back at Jadwat. This is a rivalry that's been going on for many years now, Jadwat and Osmar. And it's all leading up to this moment now. When Nissan opens up the gap down the main straight, Osmar will possibly close it under braking. It's gone board with Jason Osmar. Gets on the power nice and early. We'll see the drivers using different lines, using the strengths and weaknesses of the cars in different ways. Oh, a bit of a slide there for Jadwat on the curb there. Gets that back under control. Oh, there! I think those tires in the Nissan are shot. I can see their car moving around like crazy at the back. And Jadwat will be panic stations. He'll be frantically trying to keep the Nissan under control. Perhaps dialing up the traction control, moving the brake bias backwards or forwards depending on how he feels about the car. I'd imagine he'll be moving the bias a bit more forward at the moment. Oh, here comes Absma. He's got to run on Jadwat. Jadwat goes defensive. And Absma's going to look around the outside. That's brave. No. Jadwat defends well. Good racecraft. Good awareness by Absma. Not throwing to the back of him. Saw what Jadwat is going to do. Jadwat's going to not go defensive. He's pretty confident through that corner. Absma cautious. Oh, there's that Nissan's tires a shot. I'm pretty sure of it. Let's see if Jadwat comes in now for a pit stop. Or is he going to brave it out and see if he can sort of push or hold up Absma so Bryson catches up to them. And all different dynamics coming into play now. And Jadwat will be using all of his experience as well, Absma. But Jadwat does not come into the pits now. He will open up the gap in the Nissan. Absma is not quite in the slipstream. So, bit of breathing room there for the Nissan. But Absma will be pretty happy with what he's seen now. He's got the pace on the Nissan for the moment, so he'll be patient. Holden is down to 15th now from 13th. Looks like he's had an off. Go back on board with Absma. And we'll see this gap diminish as this lap processes through. Got a feeling Absma will be holding station, looking after his tyres and just putting a bit of pressure on Jadwat, but not too much pressure. But still early stages, only 16 laps off 49, not even halfway through the race yet. And he's half a second behind Jadwat. Oh, much better run through Arabata. Oh, Jadwat. Absma is very close to Jadwat, that's very brave. We've got the first of the pit stops. Peter Caldes is in the Redline Racing Mercedes-Benz in 16th position. So that's interesting. All the others follow suit. Yeah, definitely Jadwat struggling now. And perhaps there was a strategy by Absma to let Jadwat go. He used up his tyres and just bought his time behind. He was sitting about 2 seconds behind him for a lot of that opening period. We're seeing the Nissan starting to struggle, and they play by Absma and the RP McLaren starting to pay off now. And Absma is in the slipstream, but then Nissan's going to pull away slightly. Of course, Boyd Bryson in 3rd position will be watching on with great interest. If those two had to come together, he's close enough to take advantage of that. Of course, we've got Christopher Langerfeldt in 4th position. One of the great talents of the season so far is Christopher Langerfeldt. In his 2nd season at South Africa. Oh, and Absma is much closer to Jadwat now. Oh, a little look there by Absma, but decides to opt out of it. That's where Absma might have a go at Jadwat. No, opts out of it too. See Bryson catching up there in 3rd position. He's bringing Langerfeldt with him, so this is very interesting. Oliphant's fallen right back in 5th position. He's 7.6 seconds behind Langeveld. So, let's see what happens. Perhaps Oliphant's looking for a one-stop and he's going super easy on the tyres. You never know to cut a pit stop out of the equation. If these front runners are to go 2 stops, we've seen the RP Madcap McLaren swap out the strategies before. And I was really starting to pressure Jadwat into a mistake, but Jadwat won't be moved by that. He's I suppose a lot worse than that. But here's, I think, the best opportunity for Absma to make a move. Perhaps not this corner, but the following one as well. A good drive into this corner, but Jadwat will be aware to it. He's gone defensive already. Look, he's seen what Absma, how close he is. And great racecraft here being shown between Jadwat and Absma. What's happened to Bryson? Bryson has fallen back. Oh, he's had an off. Oh no, it's gone pear-shaped for Bryson after looking so strong. He could have been challenging for the winner of the race. But no, Bryson off down to 11th position. Asma has not found a way past, but here comes Chris Langeveld in 3rd position, just a second and a half between these two. It's really hotting up here at Mugello. Here comes Asma, he's going to have a go. Surely, I would have thought he would have had a go, but Jadwat's gone defensive early on, not allowing Asma to get underneath him. And Asma will be getting impatient now. Or will he? There's still a long way to go. Oh, contact. He's giving Jadwat the hurry up. Just reminding him that he's there and get on with it. He's coming under pressure now. Langeveld's on his way. That gap down to a second now. Here comes the Mercedes-Benz. And the Mercedes-Benz is an absolute monster down the straights as well. It can run with that Nissan down the main straight. The McLaren cannot. So perhaps Jadwat, Absma feeling a bit vulnerable for the moment. And this is Absma, he's got pace on Jadwat in one spot. Looking on the outside, that's brave at Arabata 1. Possibly an opportunity in the next 2 laps around there. But yeah, surely this is where Absma's got to get in now. Can have a look. Jadwat does not go defensive, goes early. Cuts the apex. Another tap there by Absma. Putting the pressure on. But here comes Langeveld, the Mercedes-Benz. Absma hassling Jadwat. You can see the Nissans all dented in the back. Diffuser taking absolute pounder, and Absma has found him, he's up the inside, but no, Jadwat gets the drive, and here comes Langeveld. He's there. Now what's a Mercedes-Benz down the main straight? Absma is going to have a problem. Big slide there for Absma, who's lost position, he's lost the traction. Oh, Jadwat into the pits. Jadwat into the pits. And now Absma will assume the lead of this race. And he's got Chris Langeveld for company. And then we'll see the pace of Langeveld against. Here comes the Mercedes-Benz. This is what I'm talking about. He's got the drive. He's going on the inside line. Absma goes defensive. He's going to run wide. Langeveld's got to get the sweep back. And he's got him. What a move by Chris Langeveld. It's red line racing into the lead. From nowhere, they were in like 5th or 6th position was Chris Langeveld, and suddenly he's leading the race. Can you believe it? And what is Absma going to do about this Mercedes-Benz now? He just doesn't have the legs on the Mercedes-Benz and the Nissan on the main straight. And now Bashir Jadwat's looking for the undercut. He's gone early in. He will come out with fresher tyres and hopefully not in any traffic. And Jadwat has rejoined behind Werner Hinop in 12th position. Has he got clean air? Let's go and have a look. He's yeah, he's got some clean air to Hinop. And Jadwat will be gaining on these 2 now. Now it's all about what is Langeveld and Absma going to do with their strategy. Are they going to go for the one-stopper? Unfortunately, you can't see the tyres. It's something we've got to improve with the tower. Let's see what we can do about it for the next couple of rounds. Langeveld's gone wide. Absma can't get underneath him. Jadwat's got about 1.3 seconds of clean air to Werner Hinop. So all I can say is the balance of performance is working, and I'll take credit for that, everyone. There's absolutely nothing in it between the McLaren and the Mercedes-Benz so far. So the proof is in the pudding. So Mercedes-Benz opening up down the main straight. We've got Oliphant in the pits from 3rd position. Jadwat's put a move on Hinop already, so he's making moves early on. And he'll be looking to get past Matthew Boy as soon as possible as well. And Hinop seems to be able to run with the Nissan down the back straight. Yeah, that BMW's got some pace on it, that's for sure. Perhaps Werner's using less wing than the Nissan, but that BMW is running with the Nissan on the main straight. Very interesting to see. Langefeld's open up the gap. What's happened to Absma? Oh, he's had a spin. He's 3 seconds down in Langefeld. He's gone pear shape for Jason Absma. And that should see Jadwat up into 2nd at least. And it's all about now when will Langefeld come in for his pit stop. If I was Chris Langefeld, I would come in now for a pit stop to try and see off Bashir Jadwat. Because Jadwat's getting past the traffic pretty quickly at the moment, not getting held up much at all. He's got 8 seconds of clear air to Brett Lindsay Ray now as well. And Jadwat will have fresh tyres as well. It's going Chris Langefeld's way for the moment. Will Langefeld come in now? No, he won't. He will stay out. Interesting. Absma will be looking to bring that McLaren home. I think he's overheated those tyres now as well as Matthew Boy disconnects from the server. So Boy is out of this race. That's unfortunate. Marcus staying now into the pits. Here comes Sean Laria too. Embry as well. So they're all piling in now. Bashir Jadwat's got, yeah, so got some clear air to Lindsay Ray. Now up into 6th position as the pit stop starts to cycle through. Bartel into 17th now. Valise had an error. And Lamprecht has put a move on James, I think. Looks like an issue there for James. Oliphant in 9th position. He's joined well back from Jadwat. Lamprecht has put a move on James, I think. Looks like an issue there for James. Langefeld did a 49.572 now. Let's see what Jadwat does. There's a 49.54 Jadwat. Before Langefeld, I beg your pardon. Let's see what Jadwat comes up with now. Let's get an idea of the difference in pace between the two. $49.5 for Langefeld and for Jadwat. 49.040. It took half a second out of Langefeld that last lap. Jadwat's now got traffic in the form of the Alcohol Racing Mercedes-Benz of Brent Lindsay Ray in the 333 car. Oh, Lindsay Ray's had a bit of a wiggle and exit there. Keeps them in the black stuff. Feeling the pressure from Jadwat. Jadwat's put a move on Lindsay Ray after Lindsay Ray runs wide. Perhaps Lindsay Ray letting him through. They're not willing to fight him. Lindsay Ray's race is not with Jadwat. It's more with Gert James and Van Hinop. Langeveld will cross the line to a 49.934. His lap time's gotten worse. So, oh, who's that? Is that that's James. Another area there. And the pressure now from Lindsay Ray. But James, oh, that's going to be passed by Lindsay Ray. Lindsay Ray is going to run him around the outside. Good move there by the Echo Racing Mercedes-Benz. Jadwat, let's see, 49.9 for Langeveld. And Jadwat is going to do a 49.5, so another half a second out of Langeveld. The question is Jadwat going to the end now, or is he going to come in again? Or is Langeveld, looks like Langeveld's able to do a one-stopper. So if he's able to do that, then Jadwat will be under severe pressure towards the end of the race. Jacobs has got Bryson for 14th position. So Bryson had a poor exit out of that last corner. Ross Bartel now into the pits for his mandatory pit stop. So it looks like the Mercedes-Benzes can do a one-stop here in the middle. Interesting. Langeveld is a 49.389, better lap there by Christopher Langeveld. In comes Jason Asma into the pits from second. Let's see where he comes up in relation to Bashir Jadwat. I expect Jadwat to be ahead of him as Asma rejoins the circuit. Jadwat enters the main straight now. Will easily pass Asma for an outright second position as Lamprecht goes into second for the moment. Jadwat does a 49 dead, so 3/10 better than Langeveld that last time round. Lindsay Ray into the pits as well. James up into fourth for the moment. The battle for the closest battle on track for the moment is Jacobs against Bryson. Covering Jacobs and Bryson after issues in the race, unfortunately for both of them. Interesting enough, Stain is rejoined behind Oliphant, just a half a second behind them. Heineke's got them both in 7th position. Boy comes into the pits now after rejoining the server. Good to see. Applegate in from 18th. And shooting now. Langeveld into the pits. There he is. Looks like a good stop from him. Where is Jadwat? Sure is Bashir Jadwat's going to have quite a long way back, in fact. Is Langeveld going to rejoin ahead of him? I wasn't expecting that. Perhaps that traffic for Bashir Jadwat was a bit too much to handle. But this is going to be pretty close now. Jadwat rounds the final corner onto the main straight. Here goes Langeveld's off. He's about to rejoin now. This is going to be very close. Here comes Bashir Jadwat. Let's go on board with him to see how close it is. There's Langeveld on the right, and Jadwat's going to get him. So Jadwat rejoins, leads the race once again after Langeveld rejoins. But Langeveld's got fresher tyres, of course. So I think the ball is in Chris Langeveld's court for the moment. Let's see what he does with it. fascinating tussle between the front runners this evening. Great to watch. Judd, what are we looking to preserve those tyres, or perhaps not pushing the Nissan so hard at the start, or now at the moment, or after he did his pit stop. Perhaps looking to look after his tyres a bit better. But Langefeld's straight back on the pace, is right there. James into the pits now, in 15th position. Oliver and Sanjay challenge Heineke for 6th position. I think Heineke's done a pit stop, if I'm not mistaken. Or not, that Nissan looks a bit tired through Arabata. Oliphant easily able to catch up to him. Bryson Jacobs' battle rages on for 13th position. Closest battle on track for the moment. Race leader Rian Lamprecht comes in from the lead, of course. That will give Jadwath the outright lead again. Hinop up into 3rd position in the BMW. He's still due a pit stop though. Bartel into 18th. He takes it off Quinton Horoff. Norrie's got Lamprecht for 8th after, Lamprecht just rejoined by Norrie. So interesting battle there between RPM Sim Racing Team and SimTech. The two McLarens running together. And Jacobs has got, Bryson's got Jacobs for 13th position finally. That's been going on for quite a while. Next up for Bryson is Nazim Edwards in 12th position. So we've got some insider knowledge there from Alessandra Barnard. She can actually see Jason up my screen, so she's saying that Jason's on the mediums. We do know is that number 90 RP Maker McLaren is on the medium tyre and looking to go towards the end, I would think. What if I now right with Heineke? Oh, from 1st position to 11th, they're all on the medium tyre, says Sandra. Thank you very much for the information, that's very useful. Van Hinop now into the pits from 3rd position. Oliphant now under pressure from Marcus Steyn. So it's Squadra Ghostworks against RP Madcap once again. Hinop rejoins in 11th position. The Typhoon Racing BMW. Jacobs in the pits. He should rejoin in around 16th position. The 52nd lead ahead of Ross Bartel in the Wake Race Racing BMW. Mercedes-Benz, I beg your pardon. Well, they find a cheeky look up the inside of Chris Heineke. Heineke goes immediately defensive. And Marcus Steyn right there, of course, still. Valery's got Haro for 18th position. gap between Jadwat and Langeveld at around 1.2 seconds, so we'll be watching that with interest. Got a slow McLaren on the pit straights. And I think, who is that? Will be Applegate in 20th position, just moving aside. Gaps come down now to just a second now. Jadwat's got a bit of traffic ahead of him. I think that's Bartel. Bartel in 17th. We're approaching lap 30 or 49. So I would expect Jadwat and Langeveld to go to the end, but I advantage Langeveld as he pitted around, I think it was 10 laps later than Jadwat, so he will have fresher tyres, and you can see the difference already, unless Jadwat is looking after those tyres in the Nissan, and not wanting that fall off that he had in his opening stint. I don't think there's any way that Jadwat can in fact avoid that if he is to stay ahead of Chris Langeveld. Mercedes-Benz more than a match in the Nissan down the main straight as well, so if Langeveld can get any sort of a toe down the main straight, he's going to have Jadwat into turn 1. Staines got Oliphant for 5th position. It's down the main straight again. Anakin under severe pressure from Stain. Oliphant's right there too, of course. Nice battle this. And they've got some traffic ahead too. That's one of the Synergy Racing Nissans. So Oliphant much better through better. Careful not to run to the back of Stain. And Stain will immediately go defensive, I think. Yes, he is going for a move on Heineke. Shitty's going to have him under braking. We go. Heineke leaves him space. Good driving there by Chris Heineke. Marcus Stain should get the cut back now. Get on the power. They'll move away from McLaren towards his next corner. Heineke flashes his lights like crazy to the traffic ahead. Oh, he runs Stain slightly wide. Rubbing his racing, as they say. The Synergy Racing Nissan's in the way. Who is that? Let's have a look. I'm not sure who that is, in fact. There's Quentin Harolf. Harolf actually doing a fantastic job there, getting out of the way of those 3 drivers. Good stuff there by the Synergy driver. Hanneke's got a bit of breathing room. Stain's got Oliphant right there. That's a lead down to just 0.6 of a second now. Jadwat will now be starting. Oh, he's at a bit slide. This is a big slide. This surely is Langeveld's opportunity now. Closing up through Arabetta 2 now. Probably have a run into the next corner, but I think those Nissan's tyres have gone off already. And the Mercedes-Benz looking very comfortable for the moment. Of course, those tyres are a lot fresher than what's on the Nissan. Langeveld getting his strategy right, it seems. Let's go on board with Chris Langeveld. Any kind of toe he gets from Jadwat, he's going to have him into turn 1. Pretty certain. Nice tight line there by Judd. What's going to cost him though? Langevelt's going to get a much better drive on the main straight now. Let's see the difference between the cars. Well, it's about equal. Mercedes-Benz edging now. Here comes the top speed. And now it's all about braking into turn 1. Judd goes very late. And Langevelt's going to cut back him. Similar move to what he did to Oliphant, and he's got him. He's got him. Langeveld comfortably into the lead now, and I think he'll just pull away from Judd with 17 laps remaining. Fortunately for us, it's all over already, I think, unless Langeveld is to make some sort of an error. Osmeyer is in 3rd position, 12 seconds behind Judd. Judd trying to come back at him. He hasn't given up just yet. And he needs to put pressure on him immediately and try and force Langeveld into an error of some kind. But you can see the Mercedes-Benz is pulling away there through Arabata. James in the pits again. That looks like an unscheduled pit stop. Heineke still defending that 4th position. See how the Nissan's pulled away from the McLaren there, but you see the McLaren catching up now. With a slide there from Marcus Stein up front. And Heineke driving very well in 4th position. Heineke and the Reaper goes for Nissan, Stein in the Squadra goes for the sister teams. Heineke's got the legs on Stein for the moment, and Oliphant's coming back at them. Judd now 7 tenths behind Langeveld. Langeveld extending that gap. Okay, James has disconnected from the server. That's in fact a retirement, I think. He did come into the pit lane. And listen, will no longer take part in this race, unfortunately. Heineke going extremely wide, Stein following him. Oliphant not quite able to get under Marcus Stein. You see how the Nissans pull away. That's the difference between the two cars. The cars in championship producing very similar lap times, and that's what we've got after the season. Stein challenging Heineke, they're not quite able to pull it off. These are your leaders, and Oliphant, the gaps very stabilized there, 0.8. He's Judd away from Langeveld. So there's the Oliphant now looking up the inside, trying to unsettle Stain, not working. And these three approaching traffic in the form of Ross Bartel in the Wake Raiders Racing Mercedes-Benz. Oh, Oliphant trying to get underneath Stain. Stain's having nothing of it. That's where the McLaren is much, much better than Livingston. Obviously, Marcus Stain knows all about that. And he's taking steps to not allow the McLaren to get the inside line there. Ross Bartel graciously moves aside. Driving. Nice to see the drivers respecting the blue flags here at Mugello. Nick's run a bit wide, they compromise himself. Stain might have a run on him here. Stain's looking up the inside, it'll be brave. Yes, he's gone for the move. Heineke made room, and here comes Oliphant. He's going to take advantage. Should there's going to be contact? Yes, there is. Oh, they made contact. Around they go. And Bartel's going to slip through the middle. So Oliphant and Heineke will drop right back, unfortunately. Stain is laughing in 4th position, he's through. And Vario up into 6th, there's a better spin. So it's simTech and McLaren will rejoin safely. Yes, he will. Oliphant rejoins in 7th, Heineke in 6th position. Embry now into 6th. Might be one incident to review later on. Mario's fallen back to 10th. He's 6/10 ahead of Lindsay Roney. Would have overheated his tyres and he's gone off, in fact. Yeah, a spin like that would have really damaged the tyres in that simTech McLaren. And up now to top 10 position is my co-commentator. He's decided to go racing this evening. Must say I'm a bit jealous. The 000 BMW doing very well. It's got Bryson for company. And we have got 13 laps remaining in this race. Oh, Oliphant's braked himself, off he goes. I think he's going to call it a day. There's Oliphant, looks like it. Yes, he's escaped to the pits. So problems here for the RP McLaren. Jacobs up into 30th now. Just 12 laps remaining now. Longafart leading Jadwat by 2 seconds. Bryson starting to move towards Hinnock now. That gap down to 8/10 of a second. It's BMW against Nissan. And we saw that BMW pretty strong down the main straight, so let's see what happens when Bryson catches up to Hinnock, which I think is going to happen within the next 2 or 3 laps. Judging by the pace at the moment. Osma, of course, still in 3rd position, on for a strong podium position finish. He's got that gap down to 10 seconds to Judd Watt. Oliphant's falling right to the back of the field now, still in the pit lane. Opening the gap to Bryson there, the gap to 1.4 seconds, so Van Henop driving very well here at Mugello. Mario in 11th position. Great looking livery that McLaren's got. Oliver still in the pits. Quentin Harv is going to move on Applegate for 18th position. Marov has got race leader Christopher Langeveld approaching him. Of course, Langeveld just needs to catch traffic in the wrong areas, and Bashir Jadwat will be right with him once again. That's what just happened now. Let's see how quickly Langeveld gets past. Harov needs to respect those blue flags. So Langeveld not quite close now. He does so. Good stuff there by Quentin Harov. Makes it easy for Langeveld to get past and put a lap on him. Langeveld now needs to get past Gustav Jacobs, who's also a lap down. Got 9 laps remaining now. Hotels put a move on Osman Fali for 15th position. Bryson against moving towards Van der Hinnop for that 9th position. Osman Fali, of course, winner of the Division 2 race of round 1 at Bathurst last time round, earning him a spot for this Division 1 race this evening. In 16th position now, looking to challenge Bartel for 15th. Whoa, and as I say that, oh, it's a commentator's curse, isn't it? As soon as I talk him up, off he goes. Of course that will happen. Sorry about the Osman, that was on me. So through goes the Hinnop Bryson battle for 9th, of course. Fight now is open up the gap to Jadwat at the front by 3 seconds. And Absmai is 9 seconds behind Jadwat. Absmai catching Jadwat, but I don't think it's quite enough to challenge him for that 2nd position. See that Bryson's tires is starting to go off there. See Hinnop just moving. Oh, Hinnop's made a mistake. It's made a mistake. Bryson's almost followed him through. Bryson trying to take advantage of that. Trying to get the power down, but no, Hinnop maintains that position for the moment. Bryson not able to take advantage of that, surprisingly enough. Having problems of himself. By himself through that last corner as well. Listen, just trying to get the power down. So that stage of the race we have just 6 laps remaining. Here comes Bryson now. Surely's going to have a move. Goes to the outside line. Who goes defensive early on. Bryson looking for the outside. He's run deep. He's run too deep. Off he goes. He will not lose the position to Lario, who's 17 seconds behind, but Osman Philly will unlap himself to Bryson. So that puts an end to a good battle for us to watch. Unfortunately, the rest of the field is pretty evenly spread out for the moment. Heineken and Zire battle, but it's 2.5 seconds apart as well. We're going to watch our race today. Chris Langeveld. Epic job by Christopher Langeveld. So you'll be enjoying this now. With 5 laps remaining. To take victory here of round 2 at Mugello. Let's not jinx it now. Let's see what happens first. Langeveld not qualifying for this race through the qualifying races in the Sprint Q Series and simGT, but getting a position through the last chance qualifier that we had on Thursday evening, where the top 8 fastest lap times were taken, and Christopher Langeveld was the fastest of those 8, narrowly beating Bryson to the top lap time. Hembury now to the pits from 6th position. That's interesting at this late stage. And so does Nazim Edwards come in as well. Edwards down from 15th. And Hinnop will go up into 8th position. Bryson to 9th. Hinnop's about 3.3 seconds behind this man, Brent Lindsay-Ray, in the Arco Racing Mercedes-Benz 333 car. Great looking skin there, made by Ryan Hill. Zero trying to catch up to Heineken if he can before race end. Perhaps Hinnop will be there too. Looks like Holden has an off. Hembury's passed up into 11th after a late pit stop there for Mark Hembury. Oliver in the pits too. I think his race is done, unfortunately. But his teammate Justin Upsma is well on course for a solid podium here, with a nice points haul, of course. And they could just putting a move there on Ross Bartel. There's not for position. This gap between Insira and Hinnop starting to come down now. It's just at 2.9 seconds. Which is interesting, and Insira is starting to catch up to Heineken as well. Could be a battle developing. Ross Bartel running wide, allowing Lindsay Ray through. Bartel respecting the blue flags there. But the gaps between Hinop, Lindsay Ray and Annika seem to be staying put, unfortunately. Go for a lap with Chris Langeveld. Nice and early on the power. Wow. Using the throttle to turn the car as well. Really a very well set up Mercedes-Benz. Great job as Redline Racing done. Able to get in the power nice and early. Ride the curbs as well. Using the middle of the track through here, interesting. Cutting back, using a bit of a curb to turn the car slightly. Through beyond there till we go. Through the gear, 6 gears, 230 kilometers an hour, 250 kilometers an hour, up to 285 I think there was before getting into the brakes. Christopher Langeveld driving beautifully at Mugello, and on course to a well-deserved victory. We'll see him go tied at the top for the Drivers' Championship lead after round 2. After, of course, the worst round so far gets dropped. And Lindsay Ray is starting to challenge Chris Heineke for 6th position. I wish that this battle develops. We've got what, 2.5 laps remaining or so. So let's see if Lindsay Ray can take it to Heineke now. But Mercedes-Benz looking a bit better on tyre wear at the moment. Van der Hinop is close enough to pick up any pieces if anything is to happen. Let's go on board with Lindsay Ray. Oh, and in fact, our race leader Chris Langeveld has started the final lap of the race, so Lindsay Ray doesn't have a lot of time. We've got a lap and a half remaining. Very wide over to get lucky to get away with it there, I must say. Lindsay Ray needs to get Chris Heineke on the main straight, I think it is. Maybe the best place for the Mercedes-Benz to pass and listen. You're going to watch Christopher Langeveld on the final lap of the race. Monumental drive this by Chris Langeveld. Would have thoroughly enjoyed this. He's approaching his teammate Peter Gelnes to put a lap on him, so they probably found that see the two Mercedes-Benz across the line together. Great photo shooting opportunity for the team. Helnes in 12th position. Not a bad result for Helnes. Christopher Langeveld rounds the final corner here at Mugello to take victory of round 2 of the 2018.1 South African simGT series. Congratulations to him and Red Line Racing. Fantastic drive. Bashir Jadwat will earn a solid second position finish. Good driving. Jason Amsmeyer will recover to third position, podium position for Jason Amsmeyer and RP Madcap. Squadra Ghostface, of course, coming in second with Bashir Jadwat. Marcus Stan will get 4th position. Solid points here for Squadra Ghostworks. Jadwat in second. Stan in 4th. And Rian Lamprecht with a 5th position finish from absolutely nowhere. How did he do that? Wow. Rian Lamprecht, of course, former FSR driver, joining the SimRace South Africa scene and showing his talent here. 5th position for him. Solid drive. Wow, from absolutely nowhere. And that's... Brent Lindsay Ray's got Chris Heineke for 6th position. Wow. So good driver there by Lindsay Ray, not giving up, and he's got his man towards the death. Heineke will get 7th. Hennep will get 8th position. Bryson will get 9th. Sean Laurie will completely top 10 in the SimTech. Karen Mark Hembry will get 11th position. Peter Helnes will get 12th and will be the last driver on the lead lap before Jacobs, Bartel, Valley. Edwards, I think, is retired from, I think we just pulled into the pit lane. Never mind. Valley, Edwards, Sparks, Harrow, Applegate, and Oliphant is retired from race, of course. Well, that concludes round 2 of the 2018.1 South African simGT series at Mugello in Italy. From me, Jason Holden-Jones, thank you very much for watching. And until next week, Monday, I think it is our next live stream, the South African Sim Sprint Q series. And we look forward to that round as well. Well, until then, all the best from me, and goodbye for now.